Namaste and welcome to Devi Mandir in Denver, Colorado. I'm Yamajit, and once again, welcome to day 8 of Spring Navaratri. So tonight and one more night to go, and then I'll be doing the culminating puja on Wednesday at Shiva Sai Mandir. So today we're going to honor the goddess Matangi. And Matangi is Ma Kali in the form of the goddess Sarasvati. So this is the personification of Ma Kali's function, creative function. And Sarasvati Matangi also has a strong association with learning and the arts and teaching. In fact, every school I ever taught at or visited in India and Nepal had a Sarasvati image. And then tomorrow we will honor the goddess Kamla, who is Kali in the form of Ma Lakshmi. Just a couple of other things coming up. So on Wednesday, once again, the closing Navaratri season puja known as Victory Day. That will be at Shiva Sai Mandir here in Denver. And I encourage everybody to look at the Shiva Mandir website, shivamandir.org, and you'll be able to access the Zoom link to that puja. But it's going to be a puja, fire puja, to all 10 of the Mahavidya goddesses that we've been celebrating one by one through this festival. And then coming up on Friday at 7 o'clock, our usual Friday night puja, I'll be doing a puja and yoga nidra guided meditation. And then on our Tuesday nights, our yoga series, yoga and meditation series will resume, and we'll pick up where we left off. We'll be doing a chair yoga and meditation sequence for the third eye chakra, Agnya chakra. So again, welcome and namaste. And that brings us to our scriptural chapter for the day. So chapter 11 of the Devi Gita, Vedic and internal forms of goddess worship. And the mountain king Himalaya spoke, "O goddess of the gods, great ruler, ocean of compassion, mother, proclaim now in detail the proper manner of your worship." And the goddess spoke, "I shall explain the manner of worship, O king, that pleases the mother. Listen with great reverence, best of mountains. My worship is of two kinds, external and internal. The external also is said to be of two kinds, Vedic and Tantric. So Vedic worship is also of two kinds, according to the type of image used, O mountain. Vedic ritual is to be performed by those initiated into the Vedas. Tantric ritual should be embraced by those initiated into Tantric lore. One who knows not this mystery regarding worship, and who thus acts in the contrary manner, such a person behaves foolishly and falls into utter misery. I shall now describe the first kind of Vedic worship mentioned above. With your own eyes, O mountain, you have already seen that supreme form of mine, so grand with its countless heads and eyes and its countless feet. Omnipotent, the impeller behind all action, that form beyond all other forms. One should constantly worship it, bow to it, contemplate, and remember it. Such is that form of mind belonging to the first type of worship, O mountain. Being calm and mentally composed without arrogance or pride. You should become fully focused on that image, adoring it, taking refuge in it alone. Behold, it is in your mind. Invoke it and contemplate it at all times. With undistracted devotion and joy, inclining your heart toward me in love, you should worship with sacrificial rites and satisfy me completely with austerities and gifts. In this way, through my grace, you shall be freed from all bonds of worldly existence. Those who are fully focused on me, their hearts bound to me, and are deemed the best of devotees. I promise to rescue them quickly from this worldly existence, through meditation accompanied by action, and through knowledge accompanied by devotion. One can always reach me, O King, but never through actions by themselves. From righteous action arises devotion. From devotion arises supreme knowledge. Vedic revelation and the sacred law are recognized sources of righteous action. Other religious works, it is said, propound merely a reflection of righteous action. For me, omnipotent and omnipotent, the Veda has arisen. Since ignorance is absent in me, Vedic revelation lacks nothing in authority. The works of sacred laws issue forth from Vedic revolution, comprehending its meaning. Thus, sacred law, like Manu's, as well as Vedic revelations, is regarded as authoritative. In some places, on occasion, it is implied that the Tantras constitute another authority. While the Tantras speak of righteous action, they do so only in part, and thus are not relied upon by those initiated into the Vedas. The teaching of other authors are rooted in ignorance. Due to the corrupting defect of ignorance, their statements lack authority. Therefore, one who desires liberation should depend entirely on the Veda with regard to righteous action. For just as a king commanded in this world is never ignored, so my own command is the form of Vedic revelation proclaimed by me, the universal ruler, can hardly be shunned by humans. For the safeguarding of my command, the Brahmin and warrior classes, I have created thus one should regard my command embodied in Vedic revelation as the secret of good conduct. Whenever there is a decline in righteousness, O mountain, and a rising up of unrighteousness, then I assume various guises. And related to this are the different fortunes of the gods and the demons, O king. For the sake of teaching those who do not act righteously, I have at all times provided hells, terrifying to anyone who hears about them. Those who abandon Vedic righteousness to follow another path, such unrighteous persons, a king, should be banished. Such unrighteous persons, a king should banish from his lands. Brahmins should not talk with them. The twice born should not sit with them at meals. The various other religious treaties are in the world, which are opposed to Vedic revelation and sacred law, are entirely based on error. The scriptures of the Vamas, Kapalikas, Kaulikas, and Bhairavas were composed by Shiva for the sake of delusion and for no other reason. Due to the curses of Daksha, Brigu, and Dadicha, the most excellent Brahmins were scorched and excluded from the Vedic path for the sake of rescuing them step by step at all times. The Shaiva and Vaishnava, the Sautra, as well as the Shakta, and the Ganapata scriptures were composed by Shiva. In these, there were occasional passages not opposed to the Veda. There is no fault whatsoever in Veda initiates accepting these. A Brahmin, by all means, is not entitled to scriptures having different aims from the Veda. One who is not entitled to the Veda may be entitled to those other scriptures. Therefore, the wholehearted effort of Veda initiate should adhere to the Veda. Knowledge assisted by righteous action will reveal the Supreme Brahman, abandoning all desires, taking refuge in me alone. Showering kindness to all beings, leaving behind anger and self-conceit, giving their hearts to me, devoting their life energies to me, delighting in all accounts of my sacred places. Thus should renouncers, forest dwellers, householders, and students always with devotion practice that yoga focused on my cosmic majesty. The mental darkness sprung from ignorance of those who are always so absorbed. I shall disperse with the sunlight of knowledge without a doubt. Such, then, is the first form of Vedic worship, O mountain. Described briefly in its essence, here now the second type. Either in an icon or prepared ground, in orb of the sun or moon, in water, in a stone known as the emblem of Bana, on the sacred diagram, on a cloth, or also the auspicious lotus of one's own heart, one should meditate on the Supreme Goddess. She is endowed with fine qualities, filled with compassion, youthful, red like the dawn, the quintessence of beauty, lovely, every limb. She is filled with the sentiment of passion, and is ever distressed by the sorrows of her devotees. Disposed to kindness, she is the mother bearing a crescent moon in her locks. She holds a noose and a goad while gesturing her beneficence and assurance of safety. She is bliss incarnate. One should worship her with all such offerings as one can afford. Until one is prepared for internal worship, a person should continue to perform this external worship. Only when prepared should one abandon it. Internal worship, according to tradition, comprises dissolution into pure consciousness. Pure consciousness alone, divide of the finite, is my supreme form. Thus, focus your awareness on my form, that is pure consciousness, without using any conceptual support. What appears outside this pure consciousness as the world composed of illusion is false. Thus, to dispel the world appearance upon the supreme witness in the form of the self, one should meditate without doubt and with heart disciplined through yoga. Now I shall describe at length the final type of external worship. Listen with an attentive mind, best of mountains. And that'll bring us to our final chapter, which will be the tantric form of goddess worship and the disappearance of the great goddess. So again, just to reiterate a major theme of this scripture, it describes a variety of different forms of worship. This can include pilgrimage, the recitation of the goddess's names, classical and Ashtanga and Kriya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, very traditional Vedic forms of devotion, and as was also described in this chapter, internal worship, a form of worship called Manasa Puja or mental puja. So you are holding the image of the Divine Mother in your mind and giving her devotion within. And if you care to join us for our Tuesday satsangs, occasionally we do meditations which are based on Manasa Puja. And then the final form, which will be discussed in the scripture, the tantric forms of devotion. Many roads, but they all lead to She, which is the source. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. Jai Ma. So I invite you now to make yourself comfortable. Find a seated position, either on your mat or in a chair where you can sit comfortably for several minutes with your back straight so that your breath is open. I invite you to begin by closing your eyes and breathing deeply. Feeling the sensation of the air as it enters and leaves. Completely filling and emptying the lungs. Breathing in deeper and deeper awareness of the Divine Mother's presence, both without and within. And breathing out those things that distract us from that awareness. Focusing on your heart center and feeling that divine presence within. And remembering again that part of your life that you're striving toward healing or transforming. And acknowledging that tonight's meditation is yet another step in its resolution. And slowly bringing the palms of your hands to heart center. And we'll open our practice again by chanting the Maya Bij mantra Hrim 3 times. Inhale. Pavitra Pavitrova Sarvavastam Gatopiva Yashmade Pandalikaksham Sabhyabhyanta Sushi. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Jai Ganesha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namah. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Kailase Patona Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Matangi Cha Vidmae Utista Sanye Dimai Tano Devi Prachodayat. Jema Matangi Devi. Om Hrim Namah. 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 Jema. 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 So now, with your eyes closed, breathing deeply, listening to our mantras and our verses, and letting those energies guide your awareness to where it needs to be at this time, strengthening its awareness of the divine within and without. Om Ang Namah. 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 Om Namah Chandakaya. Om Namah Chandakaya. Om Namah Chandakaya. Himalaya Uvacha. Deva Devi Maheshani Karunasya Garembeke Bruhi Puja Vidhim Samya Gyata Tattva Dadhunya Nijam Sri Devi Ovacha Bakshe Puja Vidhim Rajan Nambikya Yatra Priyam Atyanta Sradhaya Sadham Sunupavata Pungave Dividya Mama Puja Syad Bhatya Kabyam Talapecha Vayape Dvividha Prokta Vadiki Tantriki Tanta Vaidicha Chape Dividya Mrute Bedena Budhara Vaidiki Vadika Karya Devi Diksha Samvita Tatrokta Disya Vadbistu Tantriki Samsrita Bhave Itam Bhujara Samya Nacha Natva Viparitakam Karoteo Naro Muda Sapata Tevya Sarvata Tatraya Vadiki Prokta Pratamatam Vadamayam Yanme Shakshat Paramrupam Drustavanasye Budhara Anatasya Nanya Nama Nata Charnamahat Sarva Shakti Samayuktam Prikam Yat Prade Param Tadeva Pujaye Nityam Name Disayet Samritapi Ityetat Prashamachaya Sarupam Katitam Naga Satana Mahitamana Damban Karavajita Tatparo Baba Yadyate Tadanyasanam Vajra Tateva Chatasye Pasya Japadyaya Svava Sarvada Anayaya Primakyukta Brahmtya Madhava Mastriya Yaneya Jatapodana Maveva Paritosaya Yetita Manograttato Mokshaya Bhava Bandhanat Matpadaye Madashakta Chita Bhakta Varamata Pratijane Bhavadasma Dudharamaya Chirenatu Dachanena Karma Yuktena Bhaktinena Vapuna Prapyaham Sarvatara Jana Tu Kevala Kamabhya Dharmatsanya Yat Bhaktir Bhaktya Sanjayeti Param Soti Smutri Pyamutitam Yatas Talma Prakirtita Anya Sastrenayak Proto Talma Pasya Sayusyate Sarvagnat Sarvashaktischa Matoveda Samutita Agnanasya Mama Badveda Pramananacha Sruti Sumrutaya Cha Surtiratam Go Gruhit Vaivanachigada Man Vedam Sritimam Chata Pramamya Misyate Kvachit Kachit tantrara kataksena paroditam dharmam vadite somsator naiva gratios vadikaya anyastam sastra katron amagnamam prabhatvata agnadosha dustatvata dukterna pramamanata tasman murmukshurdametam sarvata vedamastrayet rajanya chatal loka hanyate kadachana sarve sanye mahagmagna sarustiyana jai katam madagnaragnetam tu brahma kristriyat jatya maya sustastato neyam radhasyam mesutu vacha yada yada hidamasya glanir bhavati buddhara abhyutanama dharmasya tadavishan bibharamayam devadatya vibhakaschayata eva bhavan rupa yeno churvanti dadama chachiksarta maya sada sampadas tunakasrayo na chachirvanat bhavet yovedadam rutita dharmanya mastrayet rajaparva sadyeti saniyat jate tana dharmina brahmanirna chasambasya pratigrantya na cha divya anyani sastrani lokishmin vidadani cha sruti smruti vidadane satamasanyeva sarvasa Vaimam kapalakam chaiva kaulakam bhairava kamana Sivena mohir natakya prayanito nanya hetoka dasya saprad brogo sapadad hischa yacha sapata dagyaye brahmanavara vedamarga bahiskruta tesmudarana tatya sopanakmata sada saivascha vaishnava saraksaksastai talvacha ganpatya agamascha pranita sankarenatu taratveda virudosopyo ta eva kvachit Vaidiskas tadgrava hedosho nabhavevenya kahitit sarvata veda binarte nadikrat kare vidyo bhavet vedyakara hinastru bhavet tatradhikaravan Tasmat sarva prayatnena Vaidyog veda mahasrayet Dharmena sahitam namam Parmam da brahma prakasayet Sarvanyana paratyajya Marmeva sarvanam gata Sarvabhuta dayavanato Manharankara vajita Machit madgata prana Matistana kathanirata Sanyasino varnastacha Gruhasta brahmacharina Upsante sadabhakcha yogamasvara sanitam tesyam yabhyam yuktana maramanana jamtama jnana surya praksena nasakyamena samya itam vaidika pujaya pratamaya negadipa Svarupa muktam samkhyasapat vityayato bhuve murto va santale vapi tana suryendu mandale jalavatavad banlinge yantre vapi mahapate Sahatsri Rudayamboje Davatava Devim Pratparam Sagunam Sarunapuram Taruni Marunarunam Saundarya Sarasitam Sarvavayava Sundarim Srungararasam Purnam Sadabhaktati Kataram Prasada Somukimambam Chadrakhanda Sikantinim Pasankusheva Shabbat Dharamana Rupianim Pujayatud Pachascha Satavitanusarata Yavadantara Pujam Mad Hikaro Benavenai Tatvad Bayamiyam Pujam Sraya Jatutam Tajet Abhyam Tara Tutaya Puja Satu Samvilayam Smruta Samideva Paramrupa Mupadhirahita Mama Atasvam Vide Madrupe Sheta Site Payam Nirasaryam Samvidrupatiriktam Tumidhyamaya Mamyamam Jagat Atta Samsara Nasya Sakinimatarupenim Bhavana Nirmanaskena Yoga Yuktena Chetasya Atan Param Bhaktya Puja Vistara Katyate Maya Savadhane Namana Surnu Parvata Satamam Om Om Ang Namah 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 Om Ang Namah. Meditating in stillness and silence, feeling the Divine Mother's power surrounding you and within, and just allowing yourself to be aware of what the meditation has brought into your realm of awareness. Taking a deep and clearing breath, and once again becoming aware of your surroundings. Feeling the sound of my voice and the bell, and any other sounds in your personal space. Feeling the sensation of your body sitting in the place that you've chosen. Temperature of the air on your skin. Taking another deep and clearing breath and beginning to slowly move your fingers and toes, your arms and your hands and feet, arms and legs. Slowly bringing the palms of your hands to heart center. Thanking the Divine Mother for her presence. Om Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shiva Svada Sadake Saranye Trambake Devi Naryane Namostute. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sana Bhavatu Sana Bunaktu Saviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavid Vidyavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Slowly opening your eyes. Namaste. Blessings always. Jai Mata Di. Om Tat Sat Om. Jai Ganesha. Jai Guru. Om Namah Shivaya. Jai Ma Matangi. Jai Ma. So thank you again for joining me. Blessings always. Have a wonderful night and a wonderful day ahead. And I look forward to our final chapter of the Devi Gita. Have a wonderful night. Jai Ma.